Welcome back to the online sessions on data communications. So in the last session, we have discussed about the introduction towards the multiple access techniques. So in that multiple access techniques, we were about to discuss about the protocol known as Aloha protocol, and the extension to Aloha is going to be a slotted Aloha protocols. Now in this thing, this Aloha protocol is normally comes under the contention based random access protocols. So what is the meaning of contention based? Contention based in the sense when you normally going to have more than one station or a device going to share a common resource for transmitting its data, where the collision is always going to be expected. So then that kind of transmission or that kind of scenario is simply called as a contention based kind of a scenario. So whereby thereby we normally going to use such contention based protocols to transmit signals on such shared mediums. Now how this Aloha protocol is transmitting the data. So these protocols are normally going to provide us a set of rules which governs us to transmit data on a shared resource or a shared transmission line. So now how the Aloha protocol is simply transmitting the data on the shared transmission line. That is what we are discussing. So whenever a terminal or a mobile station, now I just mentioned in the last session that you can apply the same protocols for wired as well as wireless communication mediums. So if it is going to be for wireless communication medium or say radio communications, we normally use the term known as mobile stations. Okay, it is normally used in the cellular mobile communications where we replace terminal by the mobile station. Whenever we dealing with the data communications, we always going to treat in terms of terminals or devices or simply stations. So now we are dealing with the data communication. Therefore, I'll be using the term known as terminal here. So whenever a terminal has data in this protocol, it simply transmits the data. So sender is normally going to find out whether the transmission was successful or experienced a collision by listening to the broadcast signal from the destination station. That means here the sender is going to wait for a random amount of time period until it receives a acknowledgement from the destination. It's simply going to wait to retransmit the signal. So if the sender is not going to receive any acknowledgement signal, which is known as simply called as a broadcast signal from the destination station, then the sender is going to retransmit the same data, assuming that the data might have lost due to collisions. So if there is a collision, then the sender retransmits after some random amount of time period. So this is how this particular protocol is normally going to work out. That means here, what is the problem now? So much of problems we are seeing here in this kind of a protocol now. Now these contention based protocols are used whenever we have multiple stations, but all these multiple stations need to transmit using a shared transmission line. So in that scenario, we normally going to use this Aloha protocol. So Aloha protocol is normally used to transmit data from multiple users on a shared medium. Now, how it is being done? Very simple now. This protocol is simply every user which is there on the network are going to transmit their data whenever until a collision takes place. These devices are going to transmit the data. So if the collision takes place, the appropriate stations are simply going to retransmit the data on the transmission line. Now, so the something like every station or every terminal in the network are simply going to transmit its own data without having the knowledge of what other stations are doing in the network. Now that means what happens is that more than one station, if they transmit the data at the same time, then the possibility of collision is simply going to increase in the data communication network. This is what the problem we normally going to come across in the case of this particular Aloha protocol, definitely. Now to override this kind of a thing, now what the thing which the stations can do or terminals can do before they transmit, because all the terminals are simply transmitting the data without the knowledge of what other stations are doing in the network. That is what the conflict which is coming over here. So to avoid such conflicts, what we can do is that every station can wait a random amount of time in a round robin fashion, okay, before it transmits its own data based on some probabilistic distribution. So thereby what happens is that the possibility of collisions can be simply decreased. That means every station is simply supposed to transmit data in its own time slot. That means in its own time slot, every station is simply try to transmit its own data. It is not like whenever a station is having a data to transmit, it won't transmit immediately. It'll wait until it gets its turn. So once it gets its turn, it is going to transmit. So thereby we simply avoid the collisions to take place in the transmission network. So this is how we normally going to do. Now, by what means we normally going to provide that facility? We normally going to have a Poisson distribution. We apply Poisson distribution which supports the transmission of data on the communication link or a transmission link. The next one is going to be slotted Aloha protocol. So here the possibility of collisions, even after we take care the transmissions by using Poisson distributions, but still the collisions, the throughput is not going to be really very good here. The throughput is going to be only of 18% in Aloha protocol. That means among 100% time, only 18% the data can be transmitted. That means the shared resource can be used only 18% in a given time. Okay, whereby the rest of the time period, around 78% time period, is simply going to get 72% time period is simply going to get wasted, or approximately 82% time period is simply getting wasted without using the resource, without using the transmission line. So which is, that means what, the throughput is simply going to be very poor in the Aloha protocol. Even the only advantage is in the Aloha protocol is that this protocol is going to be very simple protocol, and that is why this protocol is normally preferred whenever we are going to have less traffic. So whenever we are going to have more amount of traffic to transmit, then this Aloha protocol will simply fail to uh, provide a sufficient throughput or a reasonable throughput. That is what the thing which you going to have. Now to increase the throughput, what we can do is, the time is simply slotted. So the time is simply slotted and the packet can only be transmitted at the beginning of its own time slot. That means the number of time slots are simply increased here in the case of slotted Aloha protocol. So let's see how a transmission is going to take place in the pure Aloha protocol. Now imagine that there is a time scale which has been used by the shared medium. This is the transmission line. This horizontal line is a transmission line. This transmission line has been used by the various stations or multiple stations. Now imagine that node 1 is going to release a packet on the time scale. So after a certain time period, node 2 is going to release its packet. Now whenever node 1 has got a packet released, whenever node 2 has got a packet, it has been released. Now before the completion of node 2, what happens? That means without waiting this waiting time period, node 2, whenever node 3 has got a packet, it has simply released. Then the collision takes place between node 2 and node 3. So thereby these two packets are simply going to get lost. So once these two packets got lost, what will happen in the communication link? Node 2, after waiting a sufficient amount of time, which is double than the time period required for a packet to transmit. If it won't receive, if node 2 don't receive the acknowledgement from the receiving station, it is going to, node 2 is going to get retransmitted. Similarly, node 3 is also going to wait a random time period for acknowledgement, positive acknowledgement. If it don't receive, it is simply going to get once again retransmitted. So like this, what happens is the transmissions are normally going to take place. Retransmissions are going to take place in the case of this particular pure Aloha protocol. So this is how the pure Aloha protocol is simply going to get implemented or going to get executed. Okay. Now let us look into the throughput for this particular thing in terms of applying the probability. So the probability of successful transmission is the probability that no other packet is scheduled in the interval of length 2t, where t is nothing but the time required to travel the that means that the time delay. T is nothing but time delay for the signal to get transmitted from source to the destination. So 2t is nothing but every station is going to expect the acknowledgement from the destination station. So once again it has to travel for t more time period, thereby it becomes t plus t, going to be 2t. So interval of 2t, we can write this probability is going to be in terms of exponential notation. So as e to the power, probability of no collision is going to be e to the power minus 2gt, where small g is nothing but packet rate of the traffic. So this g is nothing but the packet rate allotted to each and every station or each and every terminal in the group of terminals which have been given in the network. So this is how we normally going to write this probability. And let us defining the throughput. We can write throughput is equal to something like e to the power minus 2gt into g into t, where t is the time period required, time delay required in the transmission line for a packet to transmit, and g is going to be the packet rate of the traffic allotted to that particular single terminal. So now for now, by considering the normalized load, we can write this, the throughput S is equal to G into e to the power minus 2g. Now to get the the maximum throughput, what we do is simply differentiate this equation and equate it to 0. So by doing this, this S max, the maximum deviation, we can write as equal to 1 by 2e, which is nothing but is equal to 0.184. So in terms of percentages, it is going to give us only 18%. 18% of data can be simply transmitted. That means only 18% of the throughput is normally achieved for each and every station or a terminal connected in the shade medium without collision to take place. So that means what? How much time period the shade medium is not being utilized for a uh, for a proper transmissions? It is going to be 100 minus 18%. So that much time period is simply being wasted. That much time period we are not using the transmission line. So this is what the problem with the Aloha protocol. So in order to overcome this particular problem, what we can do is the time slots are simply being increased. The fixed time slots, that means the number of time slots have been increased here. By increasing time slots, say this is slot 1, slot 2, and 2 time periods have been given. That means for a packet, for a node 1 to transmit, it is going to use these 2 time slots. Packet is also going to have 2 time slots. Packet is also going to have 2 time slots. So that means this packet 2, this packet 1 is going to take this time t1 plus t2 as the time allotted for this node 1 to transmit its data. That means the available time has been divided into 2. Earlier this time period is totally random. Now here this time period is not random, it has been fixed time slots. That means there's going to be something like, God band time period given to the packets, God band time period. So this God band time period is given to the packets. So it is something like the time is, it is something like whenever we normally go through a road to a particular destination. If the allotted time period to reach to the destination is say something like 20 minutes. So we start up before. the 20 minutes. That means we start up half an hour before or 40 minutes before, so that we can reach to the destination. That means more amount of time is allotted for to transmit the packet in order to avoid the collisions. That means the time slots have been given here in the case of the slotted Aloha protocol. So thereby it simply avoids the collisions. Now always at the beginning of the time slot only, the transmissions are normally going to take place. So as the transmissions are going to take place, what happens is now that, see, at the beginning of, that means before this packet 2 is going to get transmitted, the collision is normally going to get happen. So once the collision is going to happen, and they are simply going to get retransmitted in their stipulated time periods. So this is what the collision mechanism, which is normally going to be there in the slotted Aloha protocol on the time axis. So here the difference between Aloha and slotted Aloha is that in the slotted Aloha protocol, the collision is normally going to take place at the beginning of the packet, so that the wastage of packet, the wastage of the time period used here to transmit node 2 packet, node 3 packet is simply been avoided here in the case of this. Whereas in the case of Aloha protocol, at the end of packet, at the end of node 2 packet, there was a node 3 packet. They got collided. It means node 2, node 3 has been transmitted. But here what happens is that node 2, node 3 are adjusted to have a collision at the beginning of node 2 only. So thereby the transmissions on the shared medium has simply been avoided. Okay, that means only one time we transmit, we simply retransmit the packet once the collision really takes place. So it has been identified at the medium side only by the appropriate nodes in the slotted Aloha protocol. Thereby, the throughput is simply increased. That means earlier it was 18%, now it will be simply doubled. That means it becomes around 36%. Because the unnecessary transmissions of packet 2 and packet 3 of node 2 and node 3, that means node 2, node 3 packets have not been transmitted at all. So that time has been simply avoided in utilizing the shared medium. So this is what the thing which we can normally going to achieve in the slotted Aloha protocols. So it will be a little bit confusing because the only thing is that in the case of Aloha protocol, if you see carefully, we go back to the Aloha protocol. See, in this Aloha protocol, what is happening now? Packet node 2, node 3 has released their packet. They have transmitted. So after they got transmitted, it has to wait for the retransmission period, then it has to retransmit. So a lot of time is simply been ideal. That means this transmission line has to be ideal for these two nodes to transmit the data. So a lot of time is simply been wasted for utilizing the shade medium. Whereas unlike to this, what we can have is that, let us see the packet 2, the node 2 packet, node 3 packet have not transmitted at all. At the beginning of node 2 transmissions only, collision is normally going to take place. So thereby the time normally used or utilized to transmit data on the shade medium is simply been halved. So that is what the throughput we increase here in the case of the slotted Aloha protocol. So thereby we can achieve this as something like the schedule time. See, the schedule interval of length is, it becomes only t. That means for collision detection, it is normally used only t time period, because the collision is supposed to happen at the beginning of transmission of the node. Okay, so thereby what happens is the throughput is simply been doubled. The time period has been reduced and throughput has been doubled. That is how the advantage that we normally going to get. Exactly similar kind of a relationship we'll write here. Only 2 is missing here because t is e power minus g into 2t is earlier. Now it is going to be e power minus g into capital T. That is how we normally going to get the advantage here. And obviously by doing in the similar manner, we can write the throughput as 1 by E, which is nothing but is equal to approximated to 0.37. That means 37% throughput is normally achieved by using this particular sorted Aloha protocols. So pictorially, how we can show throughput now? On y-axis, we can have a throughput. On x-axis, we normally going to have the rate of the packet rate is small g, and t is the time required to transmit the packet on the transmission line. So here what happens here, that what we can see over here, see here in slotted Aloha protocol, the throughput is normally going to increase to 0.368, whereas the throughput, maximum throughput is going to be 0.184 only in the case of the Aloha protocol. This red line is going to be Aloha protocol, green line is going to be slotted Aloha protocol. So with this, we can say that slotted Aloha protocol is going to increase the throughput. Okay. But unfortunately, as the number of stations, that means as the number of stations increases, definitely the time allotted for each and every terminal is simply going to increase. So thereby what happens is that the throughput is simply going to decrease. That means the throughput is sufficiently going to be good for a limited number of terminals connected to the shade medium. As the number of terminals increases, the throughput obviously going to decrease. This is what one of the pros and cons of this particular protocol. The next protocol is going to be called as CSMA protocol, collision sense multiple access protocol, carrier sense multiple access protocol. Now, what is the difference here in the case of carrier sense multiple access protocol with respect to the Aloha protocol? In Aloha protocol, all the terminals are going to transmit their own data without the knowledge of other terminals on the network. Now, the problem with one more problem that can come across in Aloha protocol is that all the terminals connected to the network are not going to be same type of terminals. Means what? The terminals which we connect to the network are all going to be of different types in general. Say for example, if you are dealing with internet communication, in the internet communication we normally going to connect different types of terminals to the shade medium. So in that case, every terminal is going to run based on its capacities, based on its limitations, hardware limitations and software limitations. And accordingly, the throughput is always going to get disturbed because the type of systems are simply going to be different. So if you really transmit in the case of Aloha protocol without the knowledge of other stations, how they are really behaving, how they are really working out, then definitely there is going to be a problem in terms of throughput. So throughput is the one which is nothing but the amount of utilization of the shared resource without collision to take place in the shade mean. That is called basically throughput for us. So the throughput is normally going to become a problem when you have a different types of devices connected to the shade medium. So to address that issue, we normally going to have one more type of the carrier sense multiple access kind of a protocol. So as the name indicates, see here, carrier sense multiple access protocol. What does it mean now? Every station or every terminal in the shade medium is going to sense the carrier, So, so what is the meaning of saying something like sensing? So every terminal is going to know or will try to know about other stations before it really transmits its data. That means every station will transmit its data after knowing the status of the other stations. That is what called carrier sense multiple access kind of a thing over here. So this particular CSMA technique is very much preferred in the internet based applications. Now, what is that improvement you're going to have here? The start transmission is going to take place only if no transmission is ongoing on the shade medium. That means here it is going to sense the carrier. That means it is going to really understand about which station has got data to transmit, which station is going to transmit, and it is going to wait by itself until it gets its turn in the network. Unlike the Aloha protocol. In the case of Aloha protocol, without the knowledge of other stations, other terminals, everybody is going to transmit its own data when it gets its turn based on the Poisson distribution. Whereas here, that is not the case. Every station is going to wait, every terminal is going to wait after it finds that, senses the transmission line, whether it is ideal or not. If the transmission line is ideal, and that means in carrier sense multiple access, two possibilities are coming across. One is that it will sense the transmission line whether it is ideal or not. Next thing is it should sense that it has got its turn to transmit its own data, then it transmits. So two checkings are normally been done by the terminals before it transmits the data on the transmission line. So thereby it avoids the collisions. Most importantly, it avoids the collisions. Now in this CSMA technique, it is been done by using two methods. One is going to be called as a CSMA CD, CSMA CA kind of a technique. So CSMA CD we discussed as CSMA with collision detection. CSMA C is nothing but carrier sense multiple access with collision avoidance. So here in the case of CSMA CD, what is the improvement we get? Stop ongoing transmission if a collision is detected. So in CSMA CD, unfortunately, if the collision really takes place, then what the station terminal has to do, which is transmitting its data packets, it has to stop transmitting further its data packets once it detects the collision in the shared resource. That is what one thing which is going to be done. Now, once after that particular collision is rectified, then the sender is going to retransmit the packets to the destination. That is what one possibility. Now, next possibility is going to be CSMA CA kind of a technique. So in this here, it is going to avoid collisions. How it avoids collisions? It waits a random amount of time period and try again when the carrier is quiet. If still quiet, then it's normally going to transmit. So before it transmits, it checks for another random amount of time period. Okay, and it feels that no other system is really transmitting the or using the shared resource, then it is simply transmitting the data to avoid the collisions. And other two varieties which is going to happen in the collision sense, carrier sense multiple access collision avoidance with acknowledgement with the RTS and CTS request. Okay, so this is called send request to send. Okay, clear to send. That means here one more, that means handshaking. We normally going to go with this collision avoidance can be done by using handshaking signals. That means let us suppose sender is having some data. Sender is going to send a request to a destination asking for it that it want to transmit. So it is something like a request to send. This request to send is been passed to the shared resource, where the terminals connected to the shared resource are all going to listen to this particular request, and they simply based on the priority basis, all the rest of the systems are simply going to get remain ideal without transmitting any of its data. Then this receiving station is going to get a signal that clear to send data from the destination station terminal. Then the sender station is going to transmit its data to the receiver. So thereby, by using this handshaking method also mechanism also, what happens is that the collision is simply going to get avoided. But only thing is that once again the headache of handshaking is going to be more in the case of the CSMA technique in comparison to the Aloha protocol. In the case of Aloha protocols, handshaking is reduced to the maximum extent, but there is a possibility of more number of collisions. Whereas in the case of CSMA CA, the collisions are simply avoided, but handshaking is simply going to get in continuous handshaking is normally used in the case of the CSMA CA kind of a technique. Okay, but collisions are simply avoided in the case of the CSMA CA technique. Okay, so these are the certain things which we have in the CSMA CA technique in comparison to the Aloha protocol. So the maximum throughput achieved by slot Aloha is going to be around 36.8%. So that means we can use the line only for 36.68% of the time. Whereas CSMA CE gives improved throughput compared to the Aloha protocols. That means it listens to the channel before transmitting the packet, avoiding the collision to take place. So in the Aloha protocols, the problem comes only if collision takes place. If collision don't take place, then fantastic, no problem here. But that is what the advantage in the case of CSMA CA. Whatever may be the network it is, whatever how busy the network it is, let the number of stations could be many in the shared medium resources, but still we can transmit the data without collisions. In the case of CSMA CA, kind of a technique here. Okay. Now how the data is transmitted here, let us see. So collision mechanism, whenever a collision is going to take place, how the collision is simply going to take place in the CSMA CA technique, let us see. So terminal 1 packet is will be placed on the shared medium, and here what happens is that terminal 2 is also going to transmit its packet after a subsequent time period. No collision takes place here. And terminal 3 is also going to transmit after waiting for subsequent time period. Meanwhile, what is that which is going to happen? This collision sense multiple access is going to sense the collision that could take place in the medium for a data transmitted by the terminal 4. So terminal 4 is going to sense the terminal 2 packet on the transmission line, and it calculates its delay. Now it knows that it has got its data, and the terminal 4 knows about after how much time it is going to transmit its data. It calculates the delay. So by the time this particular packet reaches reaches a particular point in the transmission line, terminal 4 is going to transmit its data. Now there is a suspicion of collision. There is a suspicion of collision here on the transmission line. So thereby the collision takes place here. That means here the terminal 4 should not release its packet in this particular allotted time delay time slot. Okay. Now it suspects that there is going to be a collision. It senses that there is going to be a collision, and it changes its time of transmission of its data. Thereby, it simply avoids the collisions. Okay. So at every packet end, this sensing is normally going to be done. So that means here the packet 3, terminal 5 is going to sense. At packet 4, terminal 6 is going to sense. At packet 6, terminal 8 is going to sense. Like that, various terminals are going to get sensed. Okay, once after the packets are normally going to get released. See, first two packets, there won't be any problem usually because they have been released after the subsequent allotted time periods. Considering the time delay of the packet in the transmission line and the rate of the each packet allotted to the each and every node in the transmission line, by considering all of them, for two packets there won't be any problem. From third packet onwards, the problems are normally going to increase on the shared resources. Therefore the sensing starts from the middle of the second terminal packet. Okay, so thereby we can simply try to avoid the collisions. Okay, So let us try to think more on this. Let us discuss about this more. Let us try to understand this more. Carrier sense multiple access is a media access control protocol that is called a MAC protocol, known as medium access control protocol, in which a node verifies the absence of other traffic before transmitting on a shared transmission medium, such as an electrical bus or a band of electromagnetic spectrums. So every node has to compulsorily verify that there is no signal which is present on the network, and there won't be any signal in this particular time period, in a future time period, then only it is going to transmit its data. So carrier sense multiple access is the network protocol for carrier transmissions that operates in the medium access control protocol. So we are discussing on the data link layer protocols, whereas this carrier sense multiple access comes under the network protocol for carrier transmission that operates in a medium access control layer. It senses or listens whether shared channel for transmission is busy or not, and transmission channel is not busy. It only transmits. It sense if it senses the transmission is simply not busy. So using CSMA protocols, more than one users or nodes send and receive data through shared medium that may be a single cable or optical fiber connecting multiple nodes or a portion of wireless spectrums. So therefore it has got two types called as CSMA-CA, CSMA-CD techniques. So this is what regarding the basics of how the Aloha protocol and CSMA technique are normally going to transmit its data. So using these protocols, how a data will be transmitted from the terminals on a shared resource. In the next session, we go more in depth into the probabilistic analysis of the Aloha protocol and slotted Aloha protocols. Okay, and then CSMA techniques. So thank you very much for the today's session.